Okay, you guys. Hello, hello, hello. Listen, it's a ton of them in here already. And honestly, they've been in here. Some of them has been here for the last 15 minutes in this chat. It is showtime. You are absolutely correct, Vicky.
Awesome.
Yeah, so welcome you guys. I got Lord Trish on the line with me right now. Keish and up there is Bree. Hey Bree.
Hey everybody. Hey Trish.
Hey, hey.
All right, y'all ready? Keisha will be in shortly.
Okay.
All right, so welcome you all to Soap Corner Talk, where myself, T, Bree, Trish, and Keish will be doing the recap of The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of April 8th through April 12th. We normally start off with The Young and the Restless. In the first half of the show, we do The Bold and the Beautiful in the second half of the show. Then we have segments at the end. Flip the script. If there's a particular scene or storyline that we wish we could change, that's where we flip the script. And also, who's taking some seats? Somebody that was doing too much. They need to just go sit down somewhere and think about their moves this past week. And then we have our star of the week and our pickle of the week. All right. So we had a very crazy week for some of you guys, especially depending on where you are. We had some preemptions this week. Of course, we had the solar eclipse on Monday. I did post some pictures in one of the recaps. And then I think there was some soccer action going on in the West. So some of you guys had preemptions in the Mountain and in the Pacific time zones on some days for that as well. But nevertheless, we'll get you all caught up because we got some stuff to talk about. And what did y'all think about this week?
Uh I don't want to say filler is
Okay.
the right word. I know for the whole week of being Bill was filler. At least for me, I'm gonna speak for myself. The Hawaiian RFO was okay, but filler nonetheless.
Gotcha. What about you, Trish? Did you enjoy this week or was like, eh?
I did. I always like every week. It's always a good escape from reality. I
Mm-hmm.
think there wasn't as much excitement as I was hoping for this week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but, bridging some stories. So, really got to hand it to Eileen Davidson, though. I'm sure we'll talk more about that as we go forward.
Ooh, she was a main attraction in YNR. Loved every episode.
Yes. Yes, yes, yes. We definitely going to hit that storyline because in Young and the Restless, it really was only two storylines this week.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, it was the thing toward the end of the week was Nikki and Victor's anniversary slash trap for Jordan, and then the beginning of the week, like the first 3 days, was pretty much about Ashley.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll dive deep into that. But I gotta say, I want to thank you guys for continuously coming back and supporting me, and each other as we do this chat. I mean, Trish been with us for almost 3 years or 2 years. You came over in 2022, right, Trish, when you filled
Uh,
in for Keish when
It
she,
was when Quiche went on. Yeah, when Quiche was deployed. Yeah, I can't remember if it was 21 or 22.
yeah, I think it was 22 because when she was deployed was in the spring, and then you covered for her for 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and then you stuck around for the remainder of the time, and I really appreciate it. Listen, let
Thank you
me.
for including me.
Oh, no problem. We love you here,
Love you
especially
too.
Jenna. Especially Jenna when you two are collaborating about Diane and Sheila.
Oh,
A
I just
masterpiece.
adore Jenna. Oh my gosh, I've had so much fun with everyone on here. It's just a blast to come on here and talk about all these stories and just give people kudos and rip people to shreds and nobody gets hurt because they're not real people. It's awesome.
Exactly, exactly. So, yeah, myself and Keish, we started back in 2019. Trish came over in 2022 when Keish went on deployment because Keish is part of the military. Thank her for her
Thank you, Keish.
service. And then Bree and Jay Money has become a part of this little family as well in 23, and I appreciate you guys so much. It started as you guys guest starring, and then you became a household name now, Bree.
And I
Love it.
thank you guys. You appreciate my foolishness. Thank
Absolutely love it.
And the reason I know I'm kind of touching on this, but the reason that I'm bringing all of this up is that all of us have varying opinions on different things. There are times over the hey Keish,
you. Hey.
Geesh.
there
Hi, everybody.
hey hey there are times where Keisha and I, we have differing opinions on things. We all have different ideologies on some of the storylines, but that's what makes this such a vastly opinionated podcast. So everybody is not going to agree with everybody, including the cat fans that might not agree or might not like what one of us says. But at the end of the day, we're here to have the conversation, entertain, and just be mindful. Just because you might not like what someone says or a person's commentary, you know listen, this is all soaps are fiction. We have fun with it, and that's the farthest we take it. So I just want to put that out there. Everybody might not like what everybody have to say, but that's what makes this a fun podcast, because we mimic some of the different opinions that everybody might think. So I just had to put that out there, and thank you guys. Keish, I got to give you a kudos too. You weren't here, you've been with me since day one, and I appreciate you.
Oh, thank you for even allowing me the opportunity to be on this podcast with you.
Girl, listen, we started this podcast when we only had like 10 people listening.
I know.
Y'all are amazing.
Yeah, we keep it going. So all I'm saying is that we're nice to you guys, and we would hope that we get the same in return. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it right there. Okay.
Why are people thanking me for my service? What you said?
Oh, because we were talking about how Trish filled in when you went on deployment, and so
Oh,
you
okay.
being in the
Well,
military.
surprise.
Yeah, you
We
being in
love
the,
you and appreciate you.
yeah, military girl right there. All right, so without any other further ado, let's go ahead. I'm going to do the summary for The Young and the Restless, and then we'll just break down these, few storylines that we have. All right, so for the week of April 8th through the 12th, Little Ash, freaks out Audra. Wait a minute. Little Ash freaks out Audra. Then Ashley gives orders to her alters, and Nikki and Victor plan a trap for Jordan. Mrs. Abbott plots to destroy Tucker and have Audra take the fall, and Cole kisses Victoria after a family night out. After Tucker informed the Abbotts of her threats, Ashley becomes more unhinged, and Ashley lashes out as they try to get her help. Ashley collapses after Ash wakes her up, and the Abbotts call in Sharon for help, and Summer urges Kyle to take Diane's job. And then Jordan stalks Nikki and Victor as they celebrate their anniversary with friends and family. Alright, so let's just get the we'll leave Ashley for the second part, because we only had two storylines really this week. Let's start with the Newmans. So we did have a kiss happen between Cole and Claire. I mean, Cole and Claire. Lord have mercy.
Ooh.
Good gosh. Cole and Victoria. Cole and Victoria. We had a kiss happen between Cole and Victoria. Are you finding them a nice maybe a nice couple down the road, or not interested.
Wah, wah.
Oh.
Keith said I'm giving sound effects. I don't mind them, I
Mhm.
guess. I mean, that's about it. It's tumbleweeds. I mean, I don't mind them.
You don't
Yeah,
mind.
I thought it was sweet, but there was nothing like it wasn't indicative to me of any kind of smoldering rekindling. It was more of like a sweetness of what could have been, but I'm sure they're going to go there in the story, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I felt like he had more chemistry when he was on screen with Ashley recently.
I agree.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish he go in her direction, but I didn't mind it. And this is the first time Victoria didn't have to plot and scheme to try to get a man.
Mhm.
That's true.
And he's he's not already taken. He's not a criminal. So this is a breath of fresh air that she needs.
And it's so interesting because on that picture that I have on the screen, you got Ashley looking up at them like, why is he kissing her? It was just.
That's funny.
It just happened to land that way when I did the whole montage or whatever. But I just found that interesting that y'all said that he has more chemistry with Ashley, and then we see her looking detested at that kiss.
That's so funny.
And it wasn't even like romantic chemistry. They just had that energy. Like well, obviously they're familiar with each other, but it just seems like they would be a good match together over this particular Victoria.
Okay. I don't know. I'm not there yet. Now, I kind of got there a little closer when we saw them at the anniversary party because Cole, he was dressed up pretty. It was nice to see him in a suit. I know I
He
mentioned
looked
that.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked really good. I'm like, dang, okay, they should have. Because basically, he's kind of wearing the jeans and the plaided shirts. And, I mean.
Dressed like Papa.
I was going to say the guy on the bounty paper towel rolls. With the hiking boots and the jeans and the flannel shirt tucked in.
Right.
All he needs is the hat.
Yeah.
And the axe.
Yep. Yep. But when you put him in a suit and his hair is all coiffed and everything, I'm like, okay, Cole.
Sure.
Yeah, he was sharp today. And then Victoria looked cute in her dress and everything. So when they put them in the same space and then they had that conversation and he was like, did I overstep or, was it too much? And she was like, I was shocked, but no. I'm like, okay, well, maybe she's open.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, whatever. I guess it'll work for the time being.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, you're so funny.
Oh my God. Okay, so Keish, you're gonna love this comment in the comment section. Melissa Spencer said Victor's security team couldn't find the prize in a box of Cracker Jacks, let alone protect anyone. My cat would be more protective than Victor's security team. And the reason I brought that up because Keish is a cat lover. So I thought she would find that funny.
And Melissa is correct. Victor's security team ain't worth a damn.
Nope.
Okay, so let me ask, speaking of his security team, when I was watching this episode, it looked like they had security team on the inner side of the building.
Yeah.
But not on the outer perimeter of the building.
Right.
I mean, Jordan stood outside that door all night. Nobody said nothing.
Lurking around the corner.
Exactly.
With no video cameras. And the thing is, I'm short. And I know the actress is probably the same height as me. Everyone noticed a short person in the room, same way you noticed a tall person in the room. No one noticed a small man just hiding in the corner. Just fogging up the window. Like nobody noticed.
I mean, and she was peeping through the door when Summer and Kyle and Harrison and Cole and Claire was standing there. You mean to tell me you don't see a weird person bending, looking through the glass at all of you? Nobody saw that.
Feel that.
Thank you. That was weird to me. It was like, okay, what type of security team you have because you want to keep people from the outside coming inside. So
Right.
why wouldn't you have somebody looking on the outside that might be trying to come inside? Yeah. And the only way that she didn't get in that party is because she didn't want to go in there.
Exactly.
Yep. It wasn't like the security team kept her out. She kept herself out. So.
It was annoying to me, especially since Claire was there at the event. She spent probably the most time with Jordan. She should know her aunt's height, how she moves. Like her aunt taught her how to use her eyes and her ears and be aware of these things and how to sneak around. I find it really odd that she didn't notice Jordan. Of all people, she should have noticed Jordan was there.
What I don't understand, which okay, and we'll hit this part of Y&R in a little bit with Ashley. I don't understand why Abby is still not told about what happened with her mother. Jack and Diane were both at that party, standing next to her, and we got to see nothing of the sort to say, "Hey, go check on your mom."
Everybody was talking about that all over. Like, where's Abby? Why isn't Abby there?
Yeah, I said that Bree and I, when we did the midweek live, one of the things that I said was, if my family didn't, intervention or something happened, and they didn't tell my kids, they would be pissed.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And this kind of goes to show like where Abby falls on either family totem pole at this point.
True.
Even with her own mother. That's ridiculous. And out of all the things that she decided to talk about, why not bring up your own mother? Why couldn't she be there at that event? She's had plenty of time with Victor herself. She was the other ping pong champion along with Nikki. But I'm surprised there wasn't dialogue about her mother, or at least showing concern. I'm surprised Traci hasn't really reached out to her either.
Well, the interesting thing is, even at that party, Victor asked where Ashley was, and Diane was like, "Oh, well, she's under the weather. She couldn't make it tonight." So you had enough dialogue and writing to put that in there. Why we couldn't see Abby say, "Hey, where's mom?"
Right.
Because, I mean, she did have a part of Victor's life. I mean, not necessarily toward this anniversary, but obviously Victor invited her. And nobody, you didn't even tell. Yeah, that whole thing just did not make sense to me. That Abby was nowhere included in the intervention, and nowhere even being alerted at that party that her mom is like not doing well at all right now. Yeah. I don't know. That was weird to me. Also at this party we see that Nikki need to go to rehab.
Does she ever, man? That little flask. I mean, it. Why are they not looking in her bags?
Right. How is it he has a security team, but in private detectives, and none of them follow Nikki ever? How does she have access to a bottle?
Right.
At all? There's no cameras in this man's house. I do not understand Victor's logic. He is the worst billionaire when it comes to having security.
Exactly. Oh my gosh, security is so far advanced. I mean, it's crazy how deep you can go with it. And he's not using any of it.
Apparently, in soap world, surveillance cameras in your home, around your home, alarms, none of that exists, it seems.
I mean, she's able to go walk in the hallway by herself and drink that alcohol. I thought that they needed an escort because of Jordan. That, hey, you walking this way, I'm going to follow you and keep an eye on you. But she gets away somehow and take a nip.
Yep.
So, but what did you guys think about all of the beautiful dresses and the outfits?
I love the fashion. I thought the dress Nikki wore was absolutely beautiful with the jewelry. I loved how the lines of it, the vertical lines of the threading of that fabric with that blue was just metallic and shimmery. It was like, oh, beautiful, shiny objects.
Yeah. Yep.
I like the little rhinestones they put in her hair too. I thought that was pretty on her.
That was cute. I like that necklace she had on. That bling around her neck was fire.
Yes.
I have to go back and look. I don't think I noticed the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
She looked beautiful. The dress, and don't get on me, guys, but the dress that Diane had on, the way it was fitted, looked amazing on her.
Amazing.
I
always looks good in
yes.
gowns.
Stunning.
Mm-hmm.
She's definitely utilizing Jack's money. But Victoria's dress was my favorite. The cutout in the back and just, I don't know what it was, but it's something I would definitely wear in a heartbeat. It's pretty to me.
Yeah, she looks so good in that dress. It was beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. That was Victoria's dress was my favorite as well because of the way the back of it was designed. That little, the one little strap or the piece that went like around her.
It was sultry and sexy.
Now, what did y'all think about Summer and Sally's dress? The green, and then at first I couldn't. I know I was watching from my computer, but at first I'm like, is that a bra outside of her dress? But no, it's actually made that way or whatever. What did you guys think of their dresses?
I didn't mind Summer's dress. It wasn't. I wasn't like, oh man, that's gorgeous. I like the color of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think the bra piece of it and the cutout made it look kind of awkward.
Yeah, I agree.
I didn't like Sally's dress at all.
You didn't like Sally's green? Well, her dress was a green, I think it was, wasn't it?
It was green. It had like a black pattern or something on it. I don't know what. I don't think I really like the pattern of her dress. I think if the dress had been all green.
Mm-hmm.
And shimmering, maybe it'd have been a different story, but the pattern it was too much. I didn't really like it. And I didn't like how the one shoulder looked like there was a big shoulder pad in it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just think the cutouts are unnecessary and they distract from the beauty of the dress as a whole. Sometimes they're sexy and they're beautiful, and sometimes they're just not.
Yeah, I agree.
Summer's dress had to kind of grow on me a little bit. Like at first, when I first saw it, I was like, no. But throughout the episode, I'm like, it's okay. I would like to see her a different color palette. I feel like I see her like a bronze, copper, sort of like fall colors. If that dress was like maybe like a white or silver or something, then maybe it would have stood out. But and Sally's dress, it's just not my particular.
Not your type of thing. Let me ask you guys something about Claire. I don't know if you noticed this or maybe it's just me. When she first came on back in the day, did it seem like they wanted the character to look and act older? But now they're trying to like age her down or something?
And that makes no sense to me. If everywhere she goes, she walks in like she's a little girl.
Yes, she does.
Exactly. Even her hairstyle. I'm like,
that's exactly what I was getting ready to say, T. Even her hairstyles, the way they style it sometimes looks like a little girl hairstyle. Because she had earlier this week she had like two French braids back into a ponytail, and it just looked like something that you would put on a little girl.
Mm-hmm.
It's like she and Little Ash can play together.
Oh, Little Ash.
I think sometimes it's even like some of the conversations, like when she's talking to Victoria, she sounds like a child, like talking about picking out her bedroom in the new house and how this has been a dream of mine for a long time. And I don't know. It's just some of her dialogue, and I don't know if they're purposely doing that or if we're just misreading it. But it does make her sound young, like a kid.
Yeah, because when I picture her when she came on as Nikki's assistant, she had this business suit and her hair was pent up, and she looked like maybe she was closer to 30 or in her early 30s. And then now with her being Victoria and Cole's daughter, they're making her character look and act younger. So I'm like, okay, it's not just me then. You guys see it too.
It's like, yeah, it's definitely the case, and hopefully she's still in therapy because I think after all the trauma and everything, and now she's getting used to this new family, and Victoria doesn't really know how to be her mom yet. It's kind of like, let's see who said arrested. Amaya Baker said arrested development.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Yep. Somebody mentioned Blackpink Me mentioned why no one can smell the liquor on Nikki's breath.
She do pop mints.
Yeah, she do pop mints. That's right.
Poppy's mints.
If she was using Poppy's mints, she wouldn't need the vodka.
Oh, yeah, that is a point.
Yeah.
That is true. But anyway, okay, so it's not just me as what I thought. I'm like, they are.
I had a question.
Go ahead.
Isn't she older than Summer?
I would think so, because she would have been, I don't know, what Summer came along supposedly, in the early 2000s, right?
Yep.
Okay, and then this Claire character, it was supposed to be in 1998. So yeah, she would be a few, maybe 3 to 4 years older than Summer.
And this girl is trying to breathe up all around Summer, asking for a babysitter job. You were just working over at Newman.
Yeah, I don't know what they're trying to do with her.
And you had a whole back tattoo.
Yeah.
Girl, you silly.
You're a grown woman.
Did y'all also hear, was it Victoria? It was either Victoria or Cole that said, did you see the way Summer was looking at her?
Mm-hmm.
And then Victoria was like, maybe I should go say something to Summer about it. And it's like, just because you guys easily accepted Claire doesn't mean that everybody else has to. Like, Summer has she has a valid reason for being standoffish with her.
Agreed. I agree. I applaud, I was about to say Hope. I applaud Summer for staying stern about how she feels, because it's not like Claire hasn't already gotten her redemption tour rewards. Like, let her, I'm glad they wrote it to where Claire needs to try to work for respect or, acceptance.
Mm-hmm.
And rightfully so. Summer would have been without her family if it was for Claire. Like, it's understandable.
Yeah, everybody is not gonna feel the same way they do. I mean, Adam is one of them. He's not too 100% sure about Claire either, Speaking of Adam, what did you think about his toast? And then when he brought up Connor and the whole situation, him and Nicholas actually did a little toast of their glasses. I thought that was the coolest thing ever with those two.
I know. I always love it when him and Nick have a nice moment.
I was so upset with Nikki when Adam was doing his toast. She could not remotely give a smile. She was irritated by the compliments. She didn't want to clap. She barely wanted to clap. She's like, like, you can't even just be nice.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
For one occasion, and he's trying to say something nice to you. You can't even give a hint of a smile. Just bitter. 40 years later. Yep.
Did you see somebody else that didn't want to clap, which was Diane, when Jack was giving his speech toward Nikki, and she was looking, her facial expressions were priceless.
Yep.
She was looking at him like, yeah, right. That was hilarious. Now I gotta say, I think Bold and Young and the Restless kind of screwed up their timeline somehow, because you got Lauren at the party and you still got Lauren in L.A. Um, is there two Laurens?
I just assumed that she traveled back to LA.
I don't think so. I think she's still in town. The way they did it, it looked like she's still in town from coming off of Dylan talking to because this is still all within the same 2-3 days after she was celebrating with Eric, and it's like,
she talked to Steffi.
Yeah, she just talked to Steffi. What was that? Wednesday. Yeah, and she's still supposed to be in L.A. going into this week, but you got her in Young and the Restless at that party.
Yeah.
Well, there's two Sheilas, so I guess there might be two Laurens.
Because I thought maybe she had left after she talked to Steffi and went back to General City, because we saw her at the anniversary party, and then she's coming over to talk to Deacon, and I'm like, oh yeah, y'all didn't do that right. Now, for people that don't watch both shows, it works, but for people like us who watch both shows, it's like,
Maybe they'll explain it.
Yeah, I hope so, because that was like, that don't look too, y'all screwed that one up. What else? Anything else that anniversary? Oh, Claire and Kyle. I do see a connection there. I gotta say it. I do.
Yep.
Y'all feeling that connection?
I think they're definitely I think they're going to push them together.
I think because she feels like she's acting like a child. It'll be hard for me to see her with anybody.
Oh dang. Okay.
Oh yeah, it's kind of ick.
Yeah, because of the way that she's not giving off grown woman.
Gotcha.
It makes it feel like Kyle is, sniffing around a kid. I know he's not.
Yeah.
Like, she doesn't feel mature to me. But I do. Obviously, they're trying to do something there. But with those previews that happen next week, unless it's explained that she didn't do, what they think she did, which I think it will be.
Yeah, I seen Monday's episode already, and there's a moment between Claire and Kyle that I said, oh yeah, I see it. It's there. And I mean, she looked real nice in her dress and everything, and her makeup. I just didn't like the hairstyle because it made her look like she's 15. I think
Went to prom.
Right, the dress and everything else, the makeup, she looks good. I see the old Claire, except for that hairstyle. She got these 2 diamond bows or rhinestone bows in the side of her hair, and it's like twisted back like she is a junior in high school. And it's like, okay, you could have changed the hairstyle. Come on now.
Like she went to GCAC High.
Or Walnut Grove. Go ahead.
And you guys can call me a hater. I'm sick of Claire winning. I'm sorry. Why does she get a love storyline and there's other characters who are just sitting and waiting, and it seems like she got a whole full redemption to her. And the thing is, she's exactly what Johnny Bravo deserves. A criminal.
Girl, you a fool.
And you see how quickly they've attached Harrison to her.
Mm-hmm.
How he ran to her when she walked in and grabbed her hand when they went to walk in the dining room area.
Did they make the baby younger?
It sure looked like it. I thought he was going to be. When I saw the photo ops of him, I'm like, okay, he looks a little bit older on paper than Harrison. But then when he came, because Monday you'll get to see him a lot more, and I'm like, he looks younger and maybe even a little smaller than Harrison, the other Harrison.
I wonder if he's physically just smaller, but still around the same age as the other Harrison.
Yeah, I'm not
because
sure.
When he talks, he didn't sound like a baby.
No, he didn't sound like a baby. It's just that he looks younger.
Yeah, I think maybe he's just a small kid.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, you will get to see a lot on Monday, and I think this is a really a huge way for them to redeem her now because as much as they, Summer and Kyle is going to jump to conclusions when they find out the truth, then yeah, she's going to get a full redemption tour.
Which is bull.
I know, cause how long Adam been around? Adam been fighting for I don't know how long.
Right. Pretty much since his existence.
Exactly.
He can't even get a smile.
Exactly. Like you said. That. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Trish.
Oh no, I was just gonna say he can't even get anything whenever his kid is like thousands of miles away, and yeah, it's ridiculous.
I'm so glad you brought that up. I was so upset. I actually had to pause when he was giving that dialogue saying that he cannot have communication for 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
His child is in a whole other state, and he can't communicate for 3 weeks. There's no way I would be at that party at all. I would be in that state with my child. I wouldn't even put him in a facility. What type of facility is like that?
Right.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. I mean, at least when kids are bored in school, you got access to talk to them, come and visit them, things like that. And I mean, I know this is not boarding school, this is a healing place, but still, where they don't want him there. He is ostracized from being there.
And he's a minor.
Yeah, it sucks. I think they're going with a different thing. I really think they're creating another storyline with this whole thing. Something ain't right about that school.
At all. There would be no way my child would just be left in a holder state. I can't even talk to him in a few weeks. No.
Y'all know I don't have kids. I have no idea how anybody could. I don't. I'd be dying inside.
Listen, when my son went to study abroad in Costa Rica in the summer of his sophomore year in high school, he was gone for 3 weeks. But they had teachers in place, but they still let the kids communicate because I mean they're in a whole nother country. So I mean we were like, oh, I hope they're okay, and what's going on, and are you all right, and did you eat, and watch the food, and watch the crazy, anything going on. So to not have contact,
it's not practical.
Exactly.
Because what happens if he's sick, and like you have to get permission from the parents before you give any medication or do any procedure. Like you have to be in contact with a parent. That's why I was very upset when he said that. I was like, ugh.
Amaya Baker said that Paris Hilton was in a cult-like school. Maybe Connor's story might be that, or he come up missing. One of the two.
Horrifying. Absolutely horrifying.
That would be horrifying because they're going somewhere with this. It's weird. That's not something that's common. That you are cut off from your kid where you can't call, can't visit, can't do. You don't know what's even going on with your kid. They won't tell you anything. Yeah, something's not right with that. And my thing is that doctor, the lady that they originally saw, who is she? If she's recommending kids to go there, if this is that type of storyline that they're going into.
I don't know, if I was Chelsea, I'd be at her house.
Listen, I would be, I would tell Victor, I'd be like, look, I can't do this. I'm sorry, but we got to do something. Victor got enough influence to move judges around and politicians around. You can do something with that school in Maryland. Bring my kid home. Let me know something.
Yeah.
So, all right. Go ahead.
I do like how the mentions of Neil this week I thought were nice.
They were.
Talked about the story when Victoria and Cole were talking about how she was dating Neil at the time she found out she was pregnant, and Neil agreed to raise her at his own. I thought that was a sweet story to tell.
What you think, Bree?
It made me miss Neil. Like, it was like I completely forgot Victoria and Neil were together. That was a blast for the past. I was like, oh my goodness, that's so true. And it makes me kind of sad, like how they've written the Winters family now.
Mm-hmm.
Because like Neil's story was incredible, and like how he became a father. Well, it took him a long time to actually have a biological child of his own, but it's the memories and the stories that they were sharing was really nice and made me really miss him. I thought it was the anniversary at first. I was like, did I miss something? Why are they touching on? They usually touch on certain characters, which was like an anniversary of like their passing or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, he was such a great actor. I mean, I remember the first time I saw him was as a kid in the Bad News Bears.
Oh wow.
That movie.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. What did you all? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Keish. I didn't hear you.
Oh no, I was just saying. I think it's super cool that they always here and there find ways to mention his name.
Mm-hmm.
I think they do that with Catherine too.
Yep.
Oh, we got another piece of the storyline that happened on Tuesday. We can't forget about that. Daniel and Lily. Oh my goodness.
Oh
yeah.
That got idiot.
What did you say, Bree?
The idiot.
All right, you know what? Because there's two things. Not only that, but we got that other little conversation between Diane and Kyle where Summer told him either show and prove yourself to be co-CEO or quit Jabot.
I'm like, his mom already asked to hand the position to him. I'm like, why is he over there pouting for? Like, okay, you want to compete with your mom who you know has no experience? Like, that was just stupid advice from Summer. Like, come on.
Well,
like,
the problem, Bree, is Jack. Because those two want to switch positions. Diane wants to give her son that seat. And Kyle is willing to take it. Jack don't want them to move.
Kyle needs to put his foot down. If he's going to continue to pout, then he needs to pout in the corner. But if he wants that position, he put his foot down and go to his daddy and ask, can he have his job back? Simple as that.
I don't understand. Jack is just, his head is in like 3,000 different places. It's like, dude, if your son is saying, look, mom work is sloppy. She ain't up to doing this job. I can do it better so we won't look bad as a company. Let me slide in there. And mom is, she's open to me taking the position. She's willing to give it to. No. I want her working by my side. Okay, well, you're going to look like the fool in the end.
He's not at work himself.
Exactly.
No, he's not.
Shouldn't he notice what his CEO is doing for his business?
You would think.
Notice the heirs. Like I don't get that. He's way too far up Nikki's and just not focusing on his business at all.
Well, Bree, he gonna say something real stupid next week. So I'm gonna let this out here. So on the Monday's episode, Nikki admits to Jack that she been drinking. He says, and that was the same day of that intervention when she went home and took that nip. Remember, it was the same day as Ashley's whole intervention, right? He says, why didn't you call me? I could have come running over there. Jack, you were in the middle of an intervention with your sister.
Wow, man alive.
I almost wanted to throw. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Excuse me?
Yes.
He said what?
He told her because it was the same day. I think that was Wednesday's episode. And when she was over there sneaking that little nip, remember, she was taking little sips, talking about his baby steps to get through this, right? That was the same day as the intervention that Jack had when they were dealing with Ashley. Because we got 2 episodes with 3 or 4. But that last one before Ashley collapsed was like Wednesday. He gonna tell her on Monday episode, You should have called me immediately. So what you're saying, Jack, is that while your sister is having a crisis and splitting in 3 different directions, you were just gonna up and leave and go run to Nikki?
Yeah.
A whole married woman.
Thank you.
Exactly.
But can't come to his own wife's rescue at the company that he runs.
At this point, Jack should say, look, I'm not helping you. If you still drinking, you need something else. My sponsorship isn't working. Instead of you keep running. Yeah, that was, y'all, you'll get the chance to see that on Monday. I couldn't believe he said that.
Did y'all notice how when Kyle left the party, Diane waved at him and he just looked at her and kept on going?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Why was he so he knows that she wants to give him the job. I don't understand. What are you angry about? At her?
I really don't know. I think he's still expecting that position after what he did regarding the Tucker stuff. I don't, or maybe he just wants his dad to just validate him and his gift in the position.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll see. I just think that, like you said, he need to put his foot down and say, look, I'm not going to keep cleaning up her messy work. And then she get mad at me for undermining her. And I'm telling you, she can't do this. I can do it. And you keep saying I want my wife by my side. It's crazy.
Yeah. And yet his wife is never by his side whenever he's around Nikki.
Exactly. All right, we got to hit this thing with, and then we got to dive into Ashley's story. This thing with Lily and Daniel. I mean, Daniel came up in there, wanted old Megasphere back, and said that Princess Louisa is the image of his daughter. And she was like, well, you got your daughter back. You got back in Heather's bed. It's just a game and I own it. And he said, okay, cool. I'm suing. So let me go to, what is it called? What did you call your segment, Trish?
Trissues?
Yes. So, and I know Bree and I kind of touched on it because she was saying, I can't wait to see what Trish have to say about this. Do they have a legal leg to stand on, and what could be some clauses that could go against him, or what can be some clauses that could go against Chancellor-Winters?
I think they're in a right to work state, so I don't know that they actually have any recourse unless, because at his level, there was something written in his contract. But a lot of those contracts actually carry moral clauses, and I'm not an attorney, so this is just about Y&R and the little tiny sliver of a fingernail bit that I do know. Is that if there's something in your contract about a moral clause and you cheat with a fellow colleague, you've pretty much violated that moral clause and you don't have a leg to stand on. But if there's nothing in that contract like that and it's all based on performance only and his performance has been exceptional, then he may have a lawsuit to stand on. It all depends on what's in that letter of that contract letter.
So
if there was a moral cause, if there was a moral cause, nobody would have a job.
Nobody would have a job.
Exactly.
You're exactly right.
I think Phyllis said that a week ago, that she said everybody in this town has been through what they went through.
In this world, in real life, actually.
So here's my other thing, because even though he's trying to get the game back, now he's suing for wrongful termination. So I guess that's where that moral clause, whether they have it or not, would fall into place, right?
I would think so. We have to just see what that contract says when Heather comes back into play.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they're going to bring Amanda as their attorney to be on the Chancellor-Winters side.
Probably. I would hope. I'd like to see her again.
Yeah, I'd love to see Amanda.
Could you imagine if Amanda and Heather go head to head in the court over this thing? I wonder if it's going to even get that far.
Yeah. Will Jill allow it?
Yeah, will they just settle it and say, get this man his game and get him up out of here? Or what? Go ahead.
So I think they're setting up for Lily to have a big fall. I think she's going to get fired from both companies.
I do too.
Because they keep bringing up as Abby being a stockholder. And now that they're a publicly traded company, her decision put them in financial risk, both sides. So if she were to lose that lawsuit, if either company loses that lawsuit, she can lose her jobs.
Well,
Either company. I don't think her brother will be able to hire her back because the board might be like, she's a flight risk. Like, she makes reckless decisions like that, and she's a whole felon.
Jenna said something very interesting because that moral clause is going to go both ways. Even if Daniel slept with Heather, if there's a moral clause, Lily shouldn't have been sleeping with Daniel.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, for sure. A subordinate and the CEO, yeah, that's definitely an issue.
Yeah, so it's kind of like playing tic-tac-toe and you got two open squares and either way you put it, you're going to get out.
Yep.
Unless they were smart enough to sign a consent letter.
Say it again?
I said unless they were smart enough to sign a consent letter, if that was something that was done off screen.
Yeah, that's...
We know they weren't that smart. They're never that smart.
She was just stupid to flex her chest, and she has no weight in either company. She's an employee.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't even look at that because she slept with Daniel. Daniel slept with Heather, and both Heather and Lily both worked for the company. So even if they did have a moral clause, all three of them might be out of job.
Yep.
I mean, nobody would qualify. Devon wouldn't qualify. Abby, I think the only... Now, Chance is a whole cheater as well. Like, everyone in that room has cheated.
Who did Chance cheat on?
Oh, but long time ago. He was with Chloe.
Oh, well...
And ironically, he cheated on her with Heather.
But they weren't all working at the same job, were they?
Count.
What'd you say, Keish?
I said, yeah, that wouldn't count because it wasn't...
Yeah, because, I mean, Abby was... Yeah.
But everyone in that building has cheated.
Right. We,
High horse saying, like, I'm beneath this. You're a whole felon.
Yeah, I mean, everybody on this entire show has had some sort of an affair. I think in this situation, because they're all working under the same roof, or was, that's where the problem is. Now, I mean, even though Devon and Abby cheated, Abby wasn't working over at Chancellor at that point, so they were just, But I get what you're saying about the whole cheating concept, Bree, that everybody's sleeping with folks. So, let me see. Okay, so we've already touched that. So let's move on to this whole Ashley situation. Tucker decided to just show up because at first I thought they invited Tucker for that whole thing, but no.
I did too.
But his timing, he just showed up. I was like, well, you better be glad it was an intervention because they would have thrown you out on any other given day.
When Tucker realized what was going on, he should have left.
Yep.
I understand why he went over there, but knowing that they were in the middle of an intervention with her, especially him telling her, just so you know, I proposed to Audra, to me that was unnecessary because she didn't say yes. So what was your point in even telling Ashley that? It was almost as if he was trying to give her a little jab.
I saw that as a burn too, Keish.
It was just totally, to me, that was unnecessary.
I didn't see it that way.
I did. But why are you walking in this woman's house in the middle of her going through a crisis? Like, there's something wrong. You see her family is trying to convince her to get help, and you're going to throw in her face, oh, by the way, I proposed to Audra. Audra turned you down, so why does she need to know that?
Well, this is what I say. I feel like he was trying to protect himself because everyone already blames this man for everything regarding Ashley. And plus, she keeps popping up to wherever he's at, his hotel room, on his dates. So he just returned the favor. And I think he had to be clear as to, hey, like, I'm moving on, I'm dealing with another woman, I'm going to step away and let your family deal with all of this. I think he was just trying to, cut all the ties with Ashley, or to the best of his ability. I think it was more so for her benefit, so she can stop focusing on him and focus on herself.
I thought that same thing too. Because he also said he wanted the Abbotts to know that too. So was that his play on words to let everybody know, like, look, I'm moving on. This ain't got nothing to do with me coming after her. She's been threatened, because he also brought up the threats.
Right.
That I didn't mind. I didn't mind him bringing up the threats. I didn't mind him bringing up what Audra told him. Mm-hmm. I just felt like the FYI I proposed to Audra was petty in that moment, and that it wasn't necessary. Everything else, I get it.
Mm-hmm.
But it shut her plans down. It shut Mrs. Abbott's plans down. I feel like I'm talking about like a cartoon character.
Right? I know. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it shut her down, because you can tell by the look in her face, like, dang, okay, he proposed to Audra. I guess he don't want me no more, or whatever, because she did have a look in her face after he said that.
Did you see her chin quiver just that one time? It was just that one little, like, it was soul crushing. It was like, oh man, that was hard to watch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the woman is having a mental break.
Total.
To me, that wasn't it. It was unnecessary, in my opinion. It would be different if she wasn't going through some type of mental crisis. She was just being a total bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have cared. But you know that she's going through some type of mental crisis. And for your own, and he did it for himself. He didn't do it for her.
Yeah.
He did it for himself, which is, whatever. That's cool. But that was something I feel like he could have said to her at a later date. You can still tell Jack and Traci and Billy, like, just so you guys know, these are the text messages she sent me. This is what she's been saying to me. This is what she said to Audra. You guys do what you need to do with that information to get her help. Leave me out of it. I don't want anything to do with her.
Mm-hmm.
And that, to me, that's how I feel like it should have been handled, knowing that Ashley is literally going through a mental breakdown. Not walking in there and telling her, I proposed to Audra.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't like that at first. I think that was the last thing that he said. I think he just wanted to tie up any loose ends, because it would make little to no sense for him to try to communicate with her at a later time, and he's already telling Audra, I'm trying to focus solely on you. I think he wanted to say get all of it out, at least with her in front of the family, saying, hey, my hands were clean, this is your sister, this is her actions, and I'm going to leave. I think he just wanted just a clean break, and I think that was the best way for him, at least, it was the best way for him to do that.
Yeah, I mean, the other thing is, a lot of things that she said and did impacted the relationship with him and his son too. So,
exactly.
I mean, she's going through some things, but they've been dragging that man for the last 4 months over something that he technically didn't have a hand in the first place. I mean, yes, they broke up and, they got married, and we all know the games they played with each other in 2023. But at this point, everybody hated him because they thought that he was being abusive. And then when she cleared it up, and then all this other stuff started happening, then now he's like, look, something's going on with your sister. She's been showing up at the house. And by the way, it's not me focusing and chasing her. I didn't propose to Audra. I'm trying to go for her over there. So, I mean, that's how I saw it. But this is why we have these, like I said at the beginning of the show, we all have I'm trying to see if I use the right word. We all have difference of opinions when it comes to this, because we see it 4 different ways. And then probably somebody else see it a different way in the comment section. So, yeah, I mean, that's how I saw it. I know Keish was like, it's overkill. He didn't have to do all that. And I think, Trish, you say the same thing, right?
I mean, honestly, I can see everything that everybody said. I think that he is doing the CYA thing because I think he is sick and tired of stuff coming back on him that did do damage, and I think that there was a little bit of enjoyment that he got out of telling her that because there was a little bit of an up curve on one side of his mouth when he said it.
Did you see him smiling like a Cheshire cat when he came back to the jazz lounge and saw Audra? He looked like he was just a weight was taken off of him.
He sure did. I was like, oh wow. And that's what made me feel like he had to get that off of his chest and move on. And maybe that's just the direction they're going with Tucker. And put him with Phyllis.
That would be interesting.
I would love to see Tucker and Phyllis together.
Me too.
Audra, like spinning in the wind. Audra's character is so phenomenal when she is out of control. I don't want her in control. You know what I mean?
I agree. Like throw Phyllis in the mix, Audra and Phyllis fighting over Tucker, and then when Ashley gets herself together, then put her with Cole.
Yeah. Because you know Victoria can't ever hold on to a man.
No. Well, Jordan said that, remember?
Yeah, because she'll never be happy.
No. It's always something.
Yep.
And then, of course, Ashley flipping through all of those different altars. I mean, little Ash, she look like she's the one that's supporting Ashley, and Mrs. Abbott is trying to destroy everybody.
I love Mrs. Abbott. I love the insults. I love the truth serum that she was spewing, especially when it came to Diane.
Yeah, Bree, you was talking about that on Wednesday. Remember, you and Jenna and Trish, y'all was loving that.
I was loving that. She's like, I see right through you. The fact that Mrs. Abbott was able to see right through Diane, that's very telling, in my opinion.
You know, I gotta say, with all that was going on, I at the end of the year, I might be eating my words about Diane.
Really? Jenna don't think so.
She really seemed like she was very concerned, and she was really sticking up for Traci. Like, I don't know. I'm still very suspect, but y'all, I don't know.
I didn't think Diane had any business being there because her and Ashley have the best relationship.
But she did save her from the grape issue, so the actual grape when she like choked on the grape.
Right.
That doesn't give her like, I don't feel like that gives her a pass to have her in the room during the intervention when Ashley.
Well, you gotta thank Jack for that because she wanted to leave and Jack told her, no, you should stay here by my side. She did. She tried to leave.
I blame them both because Diane is an adult. Jack didn't have her shackled to him. She could have walked out of that room. Jack is a pseudo.
Nobody gets any excuses with Keish. I love it. I do.
I'm just saying, like, isn't it like a I don't know if it's an unwritten rule or not. When you're doing an intervention for somebody, are you gonna have an individual that triggers them that they don't have a good relationship with, that's going to irritate them in the room?
You normally would not.
You normally wouldn't. Nope.
It should have been Abby. Like, Abby should have been there instead of Diane.
That is true.
I agree.
Now yes, Abby should have been there no matter what. Even if it was just her and Traci, Abby should have been the number one person in that room.
Right. It makes me wonder, like, when they put these scenes together, who did no one say why are we not having Abby in this? You know what I mean?
Which family are you referring to? The Abbotts or the Newmans?
Well, this intervention with Ashley specifically.
She's at the bottom of the totem pole. Even for her
writer, from a writer's perspective, from a showrunner perspective, it just makes me wonder why would they do that with this character in this particular situation, especially.
Unless
There's no continuity.
What'd you say, Trish?
There's no continuity. Like there's no one there to make sure. I mean, I'm sure they have someone there to make sure that the hot set stuff doesn't get moved around, but I don't think there's anybody there to do the common sense. Hey, what about? Or where's so and so? You know, you're right. There's nobody has that job.
So unless they're going to have a spin-off storyline where Abby is so upset with the family, I mean, that's how they can make that up if they create a spin-off storyline about this. Is how dare you didn't tell me this was going on with my mom, and this is what you call family, and you never, if they did something like that. But I don't foresee that. She is just totally oblivious right now.
She's oblivious with the Jordan stuff.
Exactly. She's not in the middle of anything. She's just sniffing around Devon all the time.
Do you think that's by design? Like either she can't handle like major issues, or they just each family wants to just protect her like she's a princess?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't even think I've heard them saying dialogue, we're going to keep this from Abby because we don't want her to worry. It's like she's not even mentioned.
Nope.
Not a bit.
Not all. And I mean, we were tripping when they tried to keep Adam away from the Jordan situation, and then they finally, at the tail end of it, brought him in, and he was pissed. But this right here, there is no reason that Abby shouldn't have been there. None. How you gonna and I agree with you too, Keish, when you said Diane should have left, and I was just going by what the storyline did where Jack said, oh, you stay here. But she should have left and Abby should have been there. So I agree. Yep. But I gotta give it to Eileen Davidson. She rocked it out this week.
Man. Yes, she did. Oh, that was like guttural, man.
Yeah, she better get an Emmy nomination in 2025 for this one.
Hope so.
Which episodes? Because she was given it each and every single episode. Like the insults with Audra, the back and forth, the switch. It was just really great work. And I wish the same type of work for Michelle Stafford.
I know. One of my favorite parts of this whole storyline was whenever Mrs. Abbott was sitting with Abby and listening to Abby drone on, and in her head she was saying, "Oh my God, this kid is so annoying."
All she talk about is me.
Yeah, it was so funny.
Yeah, that was hilarious. Oh my goodness. Yeah, she
calling Audra a bicycle.
Wait a minute, who called Audra a bicycle? Oh, Melissa. No.
Ashley did.
Oh, sure did. I forgot about that. She sure did call her bicycle. Oh my goodness. But yeah, when I saw Ash being handcuffed to that bed and she was trying to wake Ashley up, I'm like, girl, all you gotta do is take the shoe off and kind of tap it at her or something.
That's what I said to the TV. I was like, throw the shoe. But she was able to stretch her leg across there and bump the side of that bed to wake Ashley up, But yeah, Mrs. Abbott ain't no joke.
She's my favorite character so far. Besides her and Jordan, amazing. My issue was when she was grabbing her head and she was switching back to her normal self, or her regular self, I should say. Why didn't they call the ambulance to make sure she didn't have brain aneurysm or, something to that effect? At least get her vitals checked out.
Yeah, they just took her upstairs because I thought maybe
called Sharon.
No memory of anything, and no one called 911.
Exactly. But then this is what they could have also called, that they would have gave Elena, put her face on screen. Oh yeah, get her to the hospital stat or something. I don't know.
or a private visit at the Abbott Mansion or something. Like, why Sharon? And they kept saying that she's not practicing, but she has the experience. She can give referrals. And I'm like, you guys know doctors.
Exactly. Even call Nate. Where's Nate?
Right.
I haven't seen Nate in like, what, 2 weeks?
It's been a minute.
I forgot all about Nate. That's your boy, Bree.
I mean, Nate, I know Chance is Jenna's man, so I'm going to be kind. But he was looking great this week. But yeah, Nate, I haven't seen him at all.
Oh yeah, Nate. A lot of people were saying that Summer and Chance are boring now.
I still like them.
I mean, I think they're cute. They're just not hot. I think we've been spoiled by the whole Thomas and Hope thing for so long. It's like, where's the heat at?
It's the fact that every love scene on Y&R is in slow motion.
It is. And then Adam and Sally sleep together on Monday, and it's just like, wow.
It's like in slow motion, and there's elevator music. I don't know if I need to walk away and get a snack while this goes on, or should I try to get, like, enjoy it? Like, I don't understand. So it's just in slow motion, and they're two, like, beautiful young people throwing against the bed at the wall, like,
elevator music.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's like, come on, y'all gotta. I mean, listen, and Young and the Restless know what to do. Come on, where you got.
Yes.
So it's not like we've learned how to maneuver around the Rona, So because Rona really put a change to that 4 years ago and how people interact with each other. But if Hope and Thomas can scratch and bite and tongue wrestle and everything else. Y'all can do that on Young and the Restless. GH is doing it. Don't they got a few hot scenes over there? I don't watch GH.
You know what I noticed when Thomas and Hope, they actually don't use their tongue when they kiss.
Oh no, most of them don't.
Most of them, I was just using. I know they're not tongue wrestling, but they make it.
I noticed that, but for the longest, when they would kiss, it's like, there's something weird about it. Not weird to like, oh my God, this is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the way they would angle their faces. It was like they were trying to hide their mouths in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed it a few months ago that I was like, oh, it's probably because they don't use their tongue.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, it's just ever since then it's like they lost on what to do. We had hot scenes over the last several decades on Y&R, and I mean
with Nick.
Exactly. Nick, Adam, Phyllis.
Oh my God, Nick and Phyllis, please come back.
Yeah.
And you posted him on Instagram.
Exactly.
There's plenty of blueprint examples.
Exactly. So it's like y'all got to get it together. Y'all got all these couples, and I mean, why not put a little if you gonna put Cole and Victoria together, get that man a little frisk. Give him some, because Victoria is Victoria. She's the ice queen. Nate had to bring the fire out of her. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if you're going to put those two together, Chance and Summer, y'all got to put a little bit more heat up under those two.
Victoria was best with Billy Miller.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. Yep, I agree. I absolutely agree. Even Adam, when he, we remember this whole situation with Sharon, Keisha and I, we talked about that 4 or 5 years ago. And how, he had her up against the wall and slammed her on the bed. And what happened to that?
No.
And then, why is Summer living at the GCAC too? You are a whole CEO of Marquetti.
So they gave her house to Daniel.
Her and
apartment on Daniel.
Listen, at least Liam get to sleep at his daddy's house, right? Everybody else on the Young and the Restless got a hotel room. It's like, come on.
Nick doesn't even have a place, does he?
He still has that house. They just haven't shown it.
They just haven't shown it.
Yeah.
We ain't even seen Christian. Christian is just floating around in La La Land.
Right.
With Invisibeth.
Well, we did get to see Invisibeth.
Victoria's kids.
Yeah, Victoria's kids. There, we ain't seen Johnny and Katie in a while. So,
Right.
Yeah. All right. Did we cover everything? Anybody? I'm trying to think. Did we miss anything else?
Do you guys like Audra and Sally's little friendship?
Yes.
Yes, I like whenever there's a cool girl friendship.
Yeah, they're like the perfect. I feel like the perfect pair to be friends.
Mm-hmm. I feel like they're granting our wishes, because I said this, I don't know how many months back, that Sally needs to take a few pointers from Audra, and I always put those two together, and I'm so happy. I was so happy they became friends. But I cannot wait for their friendship to destruct when Adam gets involved.
You think Audra gonna steal her man?
I think we're gonna get our wish and get Audra and Adam very soon.
That would be nice. Mm-hmm. And then it looked like Cricket and Danny might be on a separation already. Everybody's quiet on that one.
I mean, what was the whole point?
Exactly. When I saw Monday's episode, I'm like, why did we go through all that for? If she's going to, and that couple is not a hot couple, because there's a lot more going on Monday to be excited about. But it's like, she got a job opportunity as being an attorney or whatever, and now she don't want to go on tour with Danny. Why did we go through all of that if they're gonna end up not being together?
Maybe nostalgia.
Is the job in another city, or is it in Genoa City?
Well, even if it's, I'm trying to remember wherever it was looking like they were trying to figure out how they could be together, and then they look like she's just, can't figure it out, but she wants this job. And my thing is, just send them both off into the sunset. I don't care if it's together or separate ways. There's nothing.
They were. Why did they do this? This couldn't happen off screen like Broken Ridge's marriage.
I know, right? It's just like, why? They're not like this, oh my God, I can't wait to see Cricket and Daddy. Yeah, right. Anyway.
That's like one of the top 10 things no fan has ever said.
Exactly.
Well, back in the day, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just not today.
Oh, man. Okay, I think we covered everything. I'm just trying to make sure we ain't missing little nothings. Nope. Okie dokie. Let us know. Before we do, make sure, how many people in the chat? Can anybody see?
132.
Oh, nice. All right, make sure you guys hit that like button. Also, if you are not subscribed, hit the subscribe button as well. We do these chats, if you're new here, every Friday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Also on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, X, Facebook group, and there's a blog too. So you can find Soap Corner Talk and pretty much, and even now Rumble. So you can find it on YouTube, here on YouTube as well. You can find Soap Corner Talk in different spaces of the social media world. If you want to connect with us, Reels. We have a lot of conversations in the Facebook group from time to time. Thanks again to Dewan and Delmonica and a few other people I've been slowly but surely seeing posting in the group over there. So I appreciate you and the content. And then there's a lot of folks reading the blog. It's like about 1,000 people read that blog, because I usually post the day ahead stuff over there. And so folks has been coming over there. Folks has been coming on Rumble and TikTok. So you guys are enjoying the content, and I really appreciate it. So if you want to follow on those platforms, you can. All right, let us move on to the bold and the beautiful, because everybody is trying to put Deacon on Delulu Island. So let's see what's going on. So for the bold and the beautiful, oh, hold on, let me get this thing going. It's stuck. Okay, there we go. For the bold and the beautiful for the week of April 8th through the 12th, Steffi is told that she won't face charges as Deacon demands answers from Carl about 10 toes he saw. Um, Deacon tells Finn he doubts Sheila is gone, and Luna tells Zende they need to tell RJ the truth. Finn tries to convince Deacon that he's imagining things, and Zende tells Luna he'll step in if RJ don't want her. Deacon starts drinking when Finn drops a bombshell on Steffi, and then Deacon finds threatening messages to Sheila from Sugar. Steffi is freaking out, and Luna begins to come clean with RJ. Y'all want to get rid of RJ and Luna?
Sure.
And Zende? Alright. We got to see your boy this week, Bree, Mr. Carter, and his beard.
Right. So did. I was so happy. And
Fine, that man is not on screen every day.
right.
Isn't it?
I fully agree. Thank you. I agree. Since they're listening to our wishes, can we see him more on screen, please?
I know, right? I'm like, look at Carter. Go ahead on, Carter. But, so I guess Poppy stopped taking the mint, so now she is in, drug free?
No, I need to see that to believe that. We saw Thomas go through therapy. I need to see Poppy go through rehab or something. You know, would have been nice if she would have went to Lee and say like, "Hey, I have a problem. I don't know the right way to go about it. Can you help me as my sister so I can go on the right path?" And that changes the complexion of that relationship. But I cannot believe that she stopped taking the meds and just stopped cold turkey. They brought it to the table so much in the writings. It's like all we know for her for are the meds. So it would, I don't know what they're gonna do with that.
What about you, Keish? You think she stopped taking them?
Yeah, I think she did. I just took that as a throwaway filler conversation. I did though like that she supported Luna and wanting to tell RJ the truth, and she didn't try to convince her to keep lying to him, because I couldn't stand when she basically made her feel bad about wanting to come clean to RJ because she herself over those pills.
Mm-hmm.
And even when well, never mind, we'll get to that part.
Okay. What about you, Trish? You think she's done with the?
Taking those mints and everything that happened after that, I honestly don't know how you could continue taking them, knowing that what you did affected your daughter's life in such a heinous way, because she lived her life and had her whole entire moral compass that she had was that was part of who she was to wait. She waited, and then it was just a disaster within 48 hours.
Mm-hmm.
So I wouldn't be able to take anything again, but we need to see somewhere where she's kind of struggling with it and decides not to do it, you know?
Mm-hmm.
We hadn't seen anything.
Right, exactly. And if she were to go like reach out to her sister or reach out to Finn, like they've tied Mint with that character even down to the DNA test for Luna. It's gonna be hard for me to see her just stay, "Oh, I'm cold turkey, I'm good, I'm level headed now." I can't see that. But if she reaches out for help, then maybe I'll give her a little credit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, she claims she stopped popping the mints, and now Luna is ready to drop this bombshell, and like everybody is in support of her telling RJ, but she gotta know it's going to be a huge fallout, especially within the Foresters.
I mean, a major fallout? No, there's plenty of family members who did worse damage, including RJ's mom.
What'd you say?
I said, including RJ's mom.
Nobody treats Brooke like everybody else. Brooke is the exception who gets excused for everything, and everybody just basically waves away anything that she does. Zende, on the other hand, is not going to get that treatment.
Oh no.
Mm-mm. Yeah. I just think that, I don't know. Could there, I mean, they put, well, we got this whole fashion line going on because that's the other thing that happened this week is Hope put Zende as lead designer.
Thankfully.
And RJ was her. Oh.
I was looking at my screen at the face that he made when she said that, and I'm thinking to myself, how did you think that you had a chance of being put in that position when you've been designing on your own, not tracing and drawing Eric's thoughts, designing on your own for maybe a couple months?
Exactly.
Like, we be serious.
He was butthurt about that whole thing. He was like, before they even had the meeting, all three of them were in the office saying, like, we need to take charge. We need to be able to help Hope. She's going through an emotional time. I'm going to take the lead, and we're going to make sure we're going to be there. And then the wind was blew out that man's. She said, I'm going to need somebody with more experience.
Mm-hmm.
And he didn't say nothing about that.
I was annoyed that she said a little more experience. Like, girl, Zende has years of experience on this kid. Stop it.
Exactly.
But I love that she did put Zende in charge, because I feel like had that been Ridge, it would have been RJ.
Yeah.
Now, how does this now affect Hope's line? Without Thomas being there and this truth now coming out, them two gonna be at each other. And RJ is not going to want Zende working anywhere near Luna.
Nope.
Then RJ and Luna can go somewhere else in the company and find something.
Yep.
Because he ain't in control of nothing. He can't make any decisions. He has no say-so, no authority anywhere in that company. That would have to be Hope and Steffi and Ridge making that decision. Really, Hope doesn't even have a say. She has to go through Steffi.
Do you think that the Foresters are going to be upset with Zende around this situation?
Once again, like, how can they judge with everything that most of the family has done?
Because Ridge is self-righteous and hypocritical.
But it was consensual, and she's not even placing, blame on Zende, and that's why it's a little unnerving he put Zende in this position.
Mm-hmm.
Because Poppy deserves a part of this blame.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just influenced two people, influenced her daughter, and it just created a whole bad situation. So he shouldn't get blamed for that at all. It was consensual. It was consensual to a degree.
Do you think that they should have had like a conversation with RJ with Poppy in the room and with Zende and Luna?
No.
Yes.
Dang. Yes, no. Go ahead.
I don't think so initially. I think it needed to be Luna and RJ by themselves, and then if he wanted to talk, or they all wanted to talk together.
But the thing is, okay, so even if Zende was in the room, Poppy is the catalyst to all of this. Them pills, those mints are what caused the reaction and all of the hallucinations and all of that. Now, that's what I'm saying. Maybe she could explain it, like, because the reaction we saw last week is he's kind of pushing away from Luna. So I think Poppy at least should have been there, if not Zende, to say, listen, them pills those mints got switched up. She mistakenly took them, and I know you was drinking champagne, and the combination of the two, it caused her to do this, that, and the third. Do you think now, Keish, because you saying no, do you think that it wouldn't have made an impact?
No.
Do you think he still had the same reaction?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah, his ego for sure.
Oh, his ego. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think Poppy being there would have made any ounce of a difference, because the story was still the same. It's not like Luna didn't lie to him about anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she explained what Poppy's mints do. So I don't know how much more Poppy could have explained in the situation. She accidentally took the mints, and what happened happened. The only thing that she would have been there for him to do was for him to yell at her if that's what he felt like he needed to do, because he felt like it was her fault that all this happened. So I don't think that it was necessary to have her there.
Okay, now Bree, you said yes.
Yes, I feel like when someone shares information like that they're not going to tell the full story. That's why I'm kind of curious to see what she says, because I was waiting for her to get the whole words out this whole entire episode, and she stretched it out like every couple of words. But having Zende there, having Poppy there, they're a part of this situation. I feel like him leaving Luna and then going over to Zende, and Zende can't really defend himself. It's like they have to keep re-explaining the situation. Put them all together in the same room. Say, hey, this is the situation. This is my mom's mints. Yeah, I got with Zende. I apologize. We all agree to try to keep it from you, because that's also another factor too.
Mm-hmm.
And then see what happens from there. And I feel that if they all were in the same room, I think it could have, I wouldn't say pacified, but it kind of could have helped the situation a little bit better.
Gotcha.
Versus her telling him and then he running over to Zende and he's, have them all in the same room and then wrap the storyline up, please.
I feel like he still would have been as pissed as he was, even if Zende was there. I don't think that would have changed anything, because none of the information would have changed.
Yeah.
Okay, now what about the conversation between Carter and Zende? Do you think, because it looked like Zende was ready to tell somebody. Remember, they kept this secret for so long, but I guess since he realized, meaning Zende, that Luna was about to tell her mama, about to tell RJ, he felt like, I need to tell somebody too, and he decided to get Carter. What do you think about that conversation?
I think it's going to be beneficial for him, especially after he gets punched. I mean, he's going to walk into the office with a invisible bloody eye. And he explained to Carter, like, hey, I got lightly tapped by Ridge's son because of such and such. So,
oh, God, that punch was terrible. But go ahead.
That was a digitized slow motion punch. Like he couldn't even connect to that. But I think it's good that him and Carter are back to being friends, especially after what happened with Paris. So, and Zende deserves to have his own sounding board. It shouldn't just be Luna and Poppy.
Right. He needed somebody to talk to as well. I agree. What about you, Trish?
No, I think so too. I was glad he actually had somebody to talk to, because you could see in his eyes, he really, of course he has gone over the top with trying to go after her with that whole dinner in the showroom and everything. But, he really did think she was there for him.
Gotcha.
And it's just messed up.
Mm-hmm. All right. We had a brief little stint, the remaining end of the promise that Finn told Hope to make. Remember that promise? Like, yeah, okay. Y'all quiet. Y'all don't remember the promise?
No promise. Oh, what between her and Steffi?
Yep.
Oh, trying to, and you know what? He contradicts himself, because in one breath he's telling her to work things out with Liam, and then in the next breath, he's talking about how much pain Liam caused her and Steffi.
Right.
But you want her to work things out with Liam.
He just doesn't want Liam near Steffi.
And that's exactly what it is.
Exactly. He's just trying to keep Liam out the way.
Yeah, and that's annoying because just stay out of it in general. Like I get that he is annoyed and frustrated with Liam, but how about you go address Liam and stop trying to get Hope to take him back?
Well, I mean, the other
he's
thing.
A toxic person.
Yeah, because the biggest thing out of that is the promise for her to get along with Steffi. Outside of, the whole thing with her taking Liam back. It's like, that works both ways. I don't know if Steffi is feeling Hope right now. So, you try to tell Hope to get along with Steffi, that don't mean Steffi gonna want to get along with Hope.
Yeah, I mean, he said the same thing to Steffi last week, too, though.
But Steffi ain't here. Finn ain't gonna tell her what to do. Okay. That was, and then we got past that. So the rest of this is what happened at the crematorium. He saw them 10 toes, which came off of last week. And he told Carl, where that extra toe come from? Did you put a digit on there? And he was like, I wouldn't do that. And so we had this conversation. It doesn't make sense how they did this because with the initial bear attack that happened in 2023, that was the biggest thing. They brought that toe into the Forrester office. So everybody, including whoever did the so-called autopsy for that incident, knew that she was missing a toe. How do you do a whole autopsy without recognizing dental work, without recognizing DNA, and the fact that there's a extra digit that she only supposed to have 9 toes? Sloppy.
Some serious incompetence.
Yep.
And once again, another building with no cameras, and I guess there's no proper way to go back. Like, I don't understand this. That's why this hospital is very finicky. That's what I was saying on Wednesday. The hospital is very finicky. Like, I wouldn't trust them to do a DNA test, surgery, nothing at this point.
And this poor man is so confused. He tried to stop the darn thing, almost got his hands burned off. And then he didn't even have I'm thinking, like, get your phone out, take a quick picture or something.
Yeah.
But, when you're in that state of shock, he didn't have time to think. But then he takes what he saw and tried to tell Finn. And Finn is like, oh, you stricken with grief. No, you need to go talk to somebody. You on Delulu Island. Yeah, Finn was not trying to. That was so funny. Finn was looking at him like something wrong with you.
Right.
The same man that was having hallucinations about Sheila's talking about, come help me.
Y'all really, seriously.
But you mad at him for seeing an extra toe.
And that should alarm Finn just as a doctor. I don't think he shouldn't just assume that Deacon would just make something like that up, or it can just be all hallucinations. I mean, I'm surprised he didn't look into making sure that actually was Sheila. Like, they do a whole examination from top to bottom. I would have assumed that he would have, as much as he wanted to be a part of the funeral and try to grieve, and I figured he would at least look into those details as a doctor.
I guess I could see why he would think it's unbelievable, because no one knows about the sugar who's got Sheila's face, right?
Well, Deacon does, but that's about it.
Yeah, so he does, but Ben doesn't know about that. So
right.
I would think that I could understand why he would think Deacon has lost his mind, because he's like, you looked at her face, you identified her, multiple people identify her, it was her face, so why would he be why would he not think that was Sheila? Finn himself, not Deacon, but Finn. So I could understand why he would think Deacon is lost his mind.
But I think he was adamant about that Toto, and that's what he was trying to impart on to Finn. Because looked like by the time Finn got to see Steffi, he was kind of a little bit questioning himself. He thought he was on Delulu Island, but then he was thinking like, 9 versus 10 toes, maybe,
Yeah.
When he told Steffi and she got that horrified look.
I know, right? Her eyes was like a deer in the headlights, and I'm like,
Considering
how many times Sheila has come back from the dead.
Exactly.
Yep, you ought to be scared.
Exactly. And then Ridge take his butt over to Il Giardino, and he just like, you're losing it. It's best for us all that we not bring up Sheila again. It's over. You need to get over it. And I'm like, Ridge, go sit down. You botched up the FBI thing. Don't screw this up too.
Exactly. What was the whole purpose of him showing at the restaurant? He didn't get anything to eat, anything to drink. He just literally went there just to harass this man, and I understand that. It seems like that's what everyone has gone there to do. Or it kind of feels like rubbing it in his face, and I don't understand. And they want to force him to get over it, and I hate that. Like, let that person grieve in their own way. If you're done and over with it, then you are. That's fine. But for him to bring his big ogre self to a restaurant, he didn't even care to spend too much time in it, except for to pick on a man who's grieving. Now, granted, that woman has caused a lot of issues in a man's family, but there's no point to just go to that man's restaurant. If it's over, let it be over.
Exactly. It's like, why are you there, Ridge? Just to antagonize somebody. And then we had Deputy Baker come in there and say, oh, Steffi, it's self-defense. You're off the hook. Well, it ain't quite over, Deputy Baker. And then, we had Lauren come over there to see Steffi too. So everybody's just happy. Ding dong, Sheila's gone. Wrong answer. And then everybody pull, you guys got a plate over there. Everybody pull out a plate because I got waffles to pass out. And you got your choice of Miss Butterworth syrup or, sugar-free butter syrup, whatever, because somebody admitted to being a waffle boy.
That was so good.
Yeah, you know what?
First time in his life.
Exactly. I said the writers must be listening to all the fans because we've been calling him a waffle for a very long time.
They've been definitely listening over here. I was I almost fell to the floor because I was like, he said that he wouldn't have want his daughters to date somebody like him.
Yep.
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 I was like, is he okay? Is he having an Ashley mental break right now?
Yep, he sure did. He was like, I look at my life and, do I want my daughters to date a man like me? No. And I've been referred to waffling. I'm like, yeah, you have. We've said it on this channel 1,000 times.
At least.
But it's interesting that he made that admission after he realized that Steffi was not budging on leaving Finn. Because he's up until, a week ago, or maybe even this current week, he was still trying to, talk down at Finn and how dare he betray you going to the memorial and how did you...
He did it in that same conversation.
Sure did.
He was working overtime at somebody else's job, trashing both Thomas and Finn to both Hope and Steffi.
Right.
And it just kind of goes to show that that's all he can really do now. He doesn't hold, like, a lot of the things that Liam used to say used to hold weight to those girls, and now it just goes throughout one ear out the other.
It annoys me though that that at least in Steffi's case, that she even listens to him talk.
Mm-hmm.
I would appreciate that she defended Finn when he did try to, do the I don't even understand why he was at the funeral. I don't get why he went. I don't get this, whatever it was that he said, and she defended him, but at the same time, she talked about how she's seen his growth, and it's like, no. This growth happened, Steffi, because this man has literally been chasing you this entire time.
Right.
From the moment he saw Hope and Thomas kiss, he turned his sights on you, and he hasn't stopped.
Right.
So, explain to us what this growth is that you see. This man that has been dogging your husband this whole time. Girl, that's what made me mad about that conversation.
Yeah, she telling him what sounds good and what he think he want to hear, and give him a little bit of prosperity messaging. And it's like, no, ma'am, he was chasing you up until 30 seconds ago.
Right. He doesn't deserve any positive affirmations. No kudos. He doesn't deserve any of that until he has shown that he can consistently not be that waffling little weasel trying in between somebody's marriage. Can't be there for both of his girls, not just paying attention to the one whose mom that he's into at the moment. And he's like, for real, taking time for himself and reflecting on himself and the BS that he's done in the past.
Yeah, don't coddle sniffers.
Girl, you so funny. Boy. Only Trish. She always come up with something. Yeah, we're going to talk about that quickly too, Aditha. Yeah, I did see that. So, but when we finish up with Bo, we can insert that in. But yeah, Mr. Waffle Boy, listen, because I guarantee you, if Steffi was to say, "I'm done with Finn," he would be like, "Really? Okay, let's go." Wait a minute. I thought you wanted to, because he said after he called himself a waffle boy and wouldn't want, his daughters to be with a man like him. He said, "I'm just gonna focus on being a dad." Which means that you don't have any options, because if Steffi opened up that door, you would walk right in. Yep. So I don't know with Ivy coming back. It's up in the air, because I see people saying he's coming back. She's coming back with Thomas. I see folks saying that she's coming back to mess up Steffi's marriage. So we'll see what she's coming back for. I don't know. Some people said she's coming back for Liam, so I don't know.
She wasn't going to be there long term, just like a few.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. We will see. What else we got? I think
it was a slow moving week for Bold.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people in the comment section, even though they're still watching and whatnot, they're missing Thomas and Hope. They really are.
Yep.
I miss Thomas.
Yeah, missing Thomas. Yeah, and so there's a lot of Thope fans that's like, oh, because somebody in the comments just said, I haven't watched since Thomas left town.
Oh wow.
You
didn't miss much.
Yeah, I mean,
I still gotta watch though.
Yeah. Oh, we're not done yet. We gotta talk about these messages that Deacon found with Sheila and Sugar.
Yeah, because Deacon, he doesn't know who Sugar is, and he certainly doesn't know about any surgery.
I thought he did know who Sugar was.
Well, the look on his face was like, who's this?
But I think maybe he got to think a little bit longer.
Oh, okay. I don't think, who knew that she had that surgery?
And did it seem like Sugar was threatening Sheila?
Yes.
It did seem like that. But I guess the thing is, when Sheila was talking about telling Deacon that she was meeting with somebody from her past, or whatever, it makes it like it was a distressful situation.
Right. I'm trying to see. Hold on, and because
But we know how Bo likes to switch things up. They do one thing and then they completely switch up the story.
Yeah.
Let me see Y and R, because I think it was a she, because she was on Y and R too.
Because I remember there was a storyline with Sugar, where it was Nick and Rich and Brooke. I forget, they were trapped somewhere, but she's been around for a long time. That's why I was a little bit surprised that she was bold enough to threaten Sheila. I was like, oh, okay.
Something must have happened between those two.
Man, the bottom of those feet. Whew.
Yeah. Oh, they was kind of dusty, huh, Trish?
Man, I mean, I know the whole, been, DEAD, but whoo.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if anybody. Okay, so Sugar was the inmate in prison with Sheila. Hold on, let me see. Because I thought, from what I understand, Deacon does know about Sugar. I think he just need to think. Oh, you know how you be like, sugar. Oh, that sugar. You know what I mean? So maybe it's a delayed thought, because they didn't give it to us in this episode. So, because I do know that they're going to go looking for her. Now, how would they know to go talk to the homeless man, which is played by Ron Howard's brother, that's coming up? How would you know to go talk to him unless they got some type of clues on where either Sheila is being held or Sugar was in that area or something, so yeah.
That whole, going that angle of Sheila's being held captive by this crazy person. Sheila is the crazy person.
So are they trying to give her a redemption too?
I don't know, man. You never can.
That's what they're trying to do.
That's what it looks like.
They're going to make her a victim so that she gets sympathy from Finn.
Yep.
And Steffi will save her.
In what?
You said Steffi will save her.
I think that's how they could write that. I can see them happening. If Steffi thought that she was the one who took Sheila out, I think she might be written in a way to save her. That would be a really great twist for this storyline. Do you think she might pop up May Sweeps?
Oh, okay. So I'm looking at a whole bunch of conversations. They said Ridge and Brooke know Sugar exists as a person, but not that she had plastic surgery. Lauren knows about the plastic surgery though.
She does? Okay.
Let's see. But I'm trying. I thought I heard that Deacon also know who she is too.
He should. He's been across those shows himself.
Correct. I'm just looking through some of these notes and stuff on here. But anyway.
Who was it that got this? Was it Sheila that actually got plastic surgery to look like Phyllis at one point?
Yeah.
Right.
Somebody else. The plastic surgery storylines always confuse me.
Yeah, she had that done to look like Phyllis. And Lauren, when they were about to use the GUN on Y&R, Lauren was going back and forth between Phyllis and Sheila Phyllis, and Phyllis said, me.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then the Sheila Phyllis was going, she's Sheila. And so Lauren knew that the one that was blaming the other one was Sheila Phyllis. Man, that was a lot.
Yeah, it was.
Y'all knew.
It was a woodchuck.
That is hilarious. Well, are you guys interested in that storyline? Because they made it where they even had an announcement. Even Jacqueline was saying that, Sheila's actually gone and blah, blah, blah. And then, because I remember they did that with Finn 2 years ago when they was like, oh, Tanner Nolan is no longer on the show. And then by May Sweeps, he was back in 2022. Are Are y'all excited about finding out about this sugar thing?
No, I wanted her gone.
Well, Trish, we know you wanted her gone off the cliff. So
I'm just, for me with this character, this is what the second time that she supposedly has expired, and now they're bringing her back again because she she faked it the last time with the toe cut off.
No, this is like the third or fourth time that she's coming back to life.
Yeah, it's just this particular trope when it comes to Sheila is just played out, and this was not creative at all.
Yeah, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious to know why she's threatening Sheila. Like, does she owe her money? I mean, they use Monopoly money to get the surgery.
Yeah,
I don't know. This whole thing, even when they bring her back, I feel like we're going to find out that Sheila set this all up in order to try to get that sympathy from Finn. I think the text messages are set up. I think this whole thing is set up.
Wow. Amaya says Sheila has died 4 times. Yep. But anyway.
She is superhuman. A lot of these characters are superhuman. I think, doesn't Adam have the same record?
Yeah. Adam has came back with...
Taylor. How many times has Taylor died? Twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, Adam came back with 4 different faces, so...
That's right.
He did.
Yes, he did. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm curious to see where they're gonna go with this. Is this some redemption tour for Sheila? I mean, I hated the fact that they messed up She-Con. I like them two together. I really do. I mean, she was happy. She was working. We was talking about that Brie on Wednesday. We was saying she was in her soft girl era.
Yeah, she was relaxed, painting her toenails, watching her soaps. She was getting ready for her man, ready to make a meal. She was happy. She was happy to not be a criminal for once.
Mm-hmm.
They were going to have to do something with her because during that time, she was literally, the only time we could see her was when she was with Deacon.
Mm-hmm.
Because they didn't have a relationship with anybody else on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That's
he
why
was.
I always go back to they screwed her character over when they had her do that shooting because there was nowhere else she could go from there.
Yeah, and I mean the thing is, and then they wrote Deacon to tell everybody, I'm going to be the one to keep her under control and in check. And for the most part, for the last 5 months, he had been doing that until the photo. So,
I mean, I'd even be better with a storyline where somehow Sheila was a twin separated at birth, and this is her sister Sheena. You know, I mean, just like anything but coming back from the dead again. It's just so overgrown.
Yeah, it's just old. It's getting old. It's tired.
Even if they do this where finally accepts her in his life because he's happy that she's not dead or whatever the case. What are they going to do with her? So now she can have scenes with Finn and Deacon where it's not, a thing where she's arguing with somebody.
Right.
There's never going to be an instance where anybody on the Forrester or Logan side of the cast is going to invite Sheila over for dinner.
Exactly.
Hope will at some point.
Yeah, I mean, this is still an opportunity to put a wedge between Finn and Steffi, because if Finn is happy that his mom is alive and Sheila's like, oh, here we go again. I mean, Steffi is like, oh, here we go again.
Mm-hmm. She that's what I'm saying. Then still the only person that she's really going to have scenes with
is Finn and Deacon.
And so, I don't know. I will forever feel like this show they screwed her over when they brought her back. The way they formatted this storyline.
Yep.
I feel like she should have went to Y&R after a certain period of time. Because there's so many different storyline opportunities for Sheila just in general. That all we got really were rinse and repeat episodes on B&B. And plus, my question is, okay, if she's alive, So what's that going to do to Steffi and Finn's marriage? Would this be the ripple effect? Would she be upset to know that she's well, obviously?
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. This could bring a wedge between them because Finn is going to be absolutely happy after going through all that mental anguish of losing his birth mom. Now that she's actually alive, and if especially if she is actually held captive truly and it's not a setup, he's going to be happy to save this woman and see that she's still here. Steffi, I don't care, even though she didn't now unalive, um, the sugar, which was she thought was Sheila. Like he said, the Foresters are never going to accept her. Never. And I don't care what Finn says, oh, she didn't do this, you didn't do this, blah, 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 blah. They still don't like Sheila. So I don't know what they're going to do with her coming back. Well, how is that going to work?
I would like, especially since we already know that she's alive, and it's they're going to try to unravel the storyline about her anyway. Why can't she just pop up over in Genoa City and hide there? And then people around town start to find out, and then she runs into more. I don't know, something that leads her back to Genoa City versus whatever's going on in LA and on B&B.
She can go on there and harass Daniel and Heather. She wants to be a part of her granddaughter's life.
Like, hi, Lucy. And that would keep Phyllis occupied. See? There you go. A whole chain reaction. Put Sheila over there on Y&R writers.
Girl, you know what? I've heard so many different weird speculations and stuff. You got people saying that Sheila's off out somewhere with Thomas in Paris. And I'm like, y'all come up with some of the outlandish things. Why would Sheila be in Paris with Thomas?
Right.
Come on now, people. But yeah, so we'll see. This definitely takes us because May sweep start April 25th, the day after my birthday. Yay! It starts then, so we're getting close. So that's another week and a half. So obviously these storylines are ramping up to go into sweeps month, but I don't know how they're gonna get Sheila out of this one. They can get her out of being captive, but she's still in a corner with this character.
Yeah.
Unless the Foresters and the Logans have a 360 change of heart, which okay.
No. And even her soft girl era was a complete detour to the character that she was, because I'm on season 6 now. Well, actually season 7 now. This woman, her soap career on either show deserves an incredible storyline, or at least a good send off. If the actress is done, if Kimberly Brown is done with soaps and she wants to retire, then give her the proper send off. I don't want her to just be a character just out, with no storyline or like no real direction as far as her character.
Gotcha.
And maybe she should go to Paris for Thomas. I mean, she keeps hearing about the awakening. Maybe she's really tapping into that soft girl era. So, like, Thomas, let me be the feminine energy you need.
Right, exactly. That is hilarious. Girl, you're so funny.
Man alive.
Yeah, she said man alive. All right. I think we covered everything, right? Yep, pretty much. Alright, so one of the other things that came out today, which I know folks has been saying in the comment section, that The Talk is going into their final season and will be going off the air in December. Which means the gates. So, I know a lot of, and this is just conversation. I don't know the lineup. Everybody's in different time zones. The shows come on different times of the day, depending on where you are. But just for conversation, do you think, it looked like they probably will keep Bold if they're getting rid of The Talk? What do you guys think?
I think they're gonna keep both shows because they've had fan base for over decades. It's gonna be hard to replace that viewership. So I think they're gonna keep both shows, and I think the Gates is gonna come on afterwards.
That's what I think. Because I know the talk here in Illinois comes on at 1 o'clock. So I get Young and the Restless from 11:30 to 12:30, and then 12:30 to 1 I get Bold. So the talk comes on at 1 o'clock. I'm okay with that. I think it's a half-hour show. Am I correct? The Gates.
That's what they're saying.
Okay, so then if they replace that, because a lot of shows tend to come out in January, so if they replace that in January with the Gates, that means that it will probably here maybe come on at 1 o'clock, I'm assuming.
You know what would be fantastic is if Bold and Beautiful was an hour, so they can actually fit in some decent storylines for the show.
That would be true, because that's why we would, with Young and the Restless being an hour, except for like this past week where we had basically 2.5 storylines, or two and some possibles if you play spades. The thing is that they have multiple storylines rotating throughout the week because it's an hour show. So like you say, if they did that with Bold, that can bring on more characters, more storylines. We don't have to see the same thing over and over and over again, stretch out over an entire week.
I always wonder what the reason was behind Bold only being a half-hour show.
Yeah, that's interesting. Maybe they didn't think it was going to go that far when they first started, and then everybody enjoyed it and they just left it alone. I don't know.
I never understood that either. And it makes me wonder, would the Gates be like a sister show, same way Y&R and B&B are kind of sister shows?
I don't think the same producers are behind that at all. I don't think Bell has anything to do with that one. Because the NAACP is involved, and I forgot the name of the actual production team that's over there. I don't think it's affiliated like Y&R and B&B are Bell related.
It would be nice though if they could, like, at some point do like a couple of characters that cross over to an episode or two just to connect them.
Like who?
Oh, I don't know. I don't even know.
Carter would be fantastic. Zende is the actor who plays Zende. He's a very talented actor. There's a couple of things I saw on YouTube with him. He can go over to the Gates. Lily can find another storyline.
Well, I didn't mean permanently. I just meant kind of like how Lauren
crossed over for a little stint.
I think they could still do that, just to kind of get like maybe some viewership over to the Gates with a familiar face from Y&R and B&B. I think they could do that.
Okay. Well, I mean, I got an idea of who I would like to see on the Gates, but a couple of folks have went to other shows just recently. So but we'll have to see. I'm definitely will support all three shows, and then we might have to add that on to this one. Would y'all be? That's one of the reasons why I also kind of changed the name, because I thought about adding other shows, but I'm not there yet. But because instead of being CBS, there are a lot of stuff that's streaming. But would you guys be interested in talking about the Gates on this show too?
Okay. Yeah. Why not?
Okay, cool. Well, I guess we'll have to see. I'm hoping that they do, if the talk is going off the air. God, they've been on for 15 years. I couldn't believe it.
15 years?
Yeah, I remember when I first watched it, which what's her name? Robinson Pete.
Oh, Hallie Robinson Pete.
She was on there, and it was a lot of folks. Who?
Sarah Gilbert. She was one of the ones.
Yeah, she was one of the owners at one time, one of the producers.
And then Sharon Osbourne.
Right.
Julie
Chen.
And Cheryl Underwood.
Yep. Cheryl been there. She went
since the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, she was an original.
Yep.
Oh, and Alicia Tyler.
Yes, Aisha. Mm-hmm.
I thought she came in after the fact. Was she
Who?
there from the beginning?
Who?
Aisha Tyler.
I thought she wasn't she in the beginning.
For some reason, I thought
I think she was in the beginning.
Maybe she was.
Mm-hmm. But yeah,
15 years? Wow.
I remember watching it in the early, and I used to watch it a lot, and then I just kind of phased out of it. They made so many changes over the years, and I just was like, you know. But they would always have Y&R and B&B cast members over there throughout the years doing interviews, or they do a group of them, and that pretty much made it fun. So they kind of filtered from the other daytime shows to talk to them. But yeah, 15 years. So that what is that? 2009? Yeah, it's like 2009. Oh my gosh.
When Wendy Williams debut.
Yep, 2009. So, talk shows, does it seem to be dying out?
Yeah, that's so sad. I used to love daytime shows. I used to love Ricky Lake. I used to watch Sally Jesse Raphael, Montel. I'm showing my age.
Who?
I loved all of them.
Who did you say, Keish?
I was saying I watched all of those same ones too.
Oh yeah, I mean between them and like Maury, Jory Springer, and all those, they just started just phasing out over the last 30 years. I'm wondering if that had a lot to do with social media. People stopped watching a lot of television, and so they got more into their phones, and streaming services start coming out and stuff like that, Hulu and Netflix, and so I don't know if that had an impact on talk shows. People wasn't interested because we lost the real. What, 2 years ago?
Yeah.
The
I think social media has become like a platform for people to put their own business out now. So the people that we would normally see on Maury and Jerry Springer.
Yeah, they're on TikTok.
True.
Oh my goodness, it's all kind of craziness on TikTok. Oh my goodness. And then what I was gonna say. Yeah, so I'm just looking forward to the gates and seeing what it's going to do. All of the talk show era look like it's gone. The View is still on, right?
I think so.
I don't know. I'm just looking forward to.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I'm wondering eventually they're probably going to phase out because they're one of the last remaining ones.
It's going to be hard for them.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. I was going to say it's going to be hard for them to get rid of that show. It's a staple for daytime.
It is.
They've been on even longer than the talk, haven't they?
I think so. Yeah, The View. Is Whoopi still on there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whoopi's still on there. It's been on since the 90s, so it's going to be hard for them to. I think 99. I used to watch it like crazy, but they're more like a political talk show. So it's going to be hard for them to get rid of that show.
Gotcha. And they seem to carry an older demographic too, I'm assuming. Whereas like The Real had a younger demographic, and then I guess the talk was like mid 35 to 40, something like that. I don't know. But yeah, anyway. Oh, she said, Amaya said The View aired in 1996.
Oh, wow.
So that's 28? Wait a minute, how old? My daughter will be 27 this year. Yeah, 28, 96. Yep.
Wow.
We were wrong. Cheryl Underwood was not an original host. Neither was Aisha Tyler. They didn't start until season 2.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Oh, yeah, Ron Julian said, what about Ellen DeGeneres? Is she still on?
Oh, she's on. She went
off a couple years ago, too.
She's gone, too.
Yeah, she took a lot of heat.
Okay.
She went down in a flame.
Oh, okay, gotcha. See, I was never a big fan of talk shows because they always talk about the same thing. And so I was just like, yeah, whatever.
I loved Ellen's show. That was fun. She always had fun little things to do.
Mm-hmm. No,
I used to love the talk shows because they usually come after the daytime soaps, and I used to watch that with like my family. So it's kind of sad when, there's no talk shows. There's nothing, like all of my childhood, I guess, references are leaving me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we would always watch the CBS soaps, and then at 3 o'clock we turned it over to, I think it was ABC for the $1 Million Movie after school at 3 o'clock. And it was like
Trish,
the
what?
old George Day movies. I'm totally dating myself.
Listen, hold on. I mean, I'm not that far behind you, so I'm trying to remember what you're referring to.
Yeah, it was like the Channel 13 for our ABC.
Okay.
$1 Million Movie, and it was typically just like a wholesome movie for after school.
Mhm.
And we during the summer, my grandmother and parents all shared a home. It was a multi-generational family, and my grandmother had her stories, which was CBS soaps, and after Guiding Light was from 2 to 3, and then 3 was that movie, 3 to 5,
Yeah.
and then the news. So that was just kind of the routine.
Yeah, TA makes a good point. Talk shows have been replaced by the podcast era.
They sure have.
There's a lot of podcasts,
Yeah, there are.
including this one.
Yeah.
Right?
But I mean, there are a lot of podcasts talking about relationships. There are a lot of podcasts talking about money. YouTube has really given a way to have people have their own panels. TikTok has a bunch of lives with people on panels to do their own thing. So people's like, I don't have to watch anything. I can actually get involved and talk with other people myself. So, yeah, I agree with TA on that one. Podcasts are abundant right now. And yeah, somebody said Oprah was the last incredible talk show. Oprah left, about 10 years ago?
She did, and then she went to OWN, and she did a whole other talk show.
Yeah, so. Yeah,
she just left the network. She went to be on her own network.
Yeah.
I don't blame her.
Okay, so yeah, hopefully with the unfortunately with the talk being gone, look like by December that leaves the room for the gate. So we'll see how that all pan out. Yep. All right,
let's wait to see the cast list.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm excited. I want to see the plot lines. I want to see everything.
What city they're going to be in.
Mm-hmm.
Fashion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they better. Ooh, we got to get some hot scenes. Come on now. We don't want no Young and the Restless piano music in the background and stuff.
I know. It's just so. It's just not. It's just not.
It's just not. It's just not it, right, Trish?
It's not.
And I was so mad. As fine as Chance was laying on the bed.
Oh my gosh.
Like, that's a beautiful mountain of a man, and see him like toss a girl like around the bed, have her run around the couch, nothing.
Mm-mm.
Oh,
No.
Ron Julian said Dr. Phil's show is still on, though, isn't it?
Is it really? Oh wow!
I thought it was gone.
I thought he was gone. I don't think he's still around because Let's Make a Deal takes that 3 o'clock slot on Channel 2, on my Channel 2, CBS. I haven't seen Dr. Phil in a while, plus he get on my nerves, so.
Yeah. It's hard to watch his show.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, he get on my nerves. I'm like, dude, shut up. Like, dude, shut up.
Blah 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 blah. I'm right.
When he started having his spouse come out giving advice, and I'm like, is this woman
for real?
Or is she just speaking from her own private opinion? That was when I was like,
I know she was selling her makeup and all that other stuff on there. And I'm like,
QVC everything.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, okay. I mean, I don't mind listening to documentaries about psychology and things. I think learning about how people think in the mind is very interesting to me. But Dr. Phil, no.
My Dr. Pepper is more serious.
Oh, Lord, Trish. You're so funny. All right, let's go ahead and do our flip the script. So, for our flip the script, if there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, this is where you flip the script. So, what y'all got for Young and the Restless?
Me personally, I wish Adam wasn't there at that party at all. He was with his son.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. All right, what you got, Keish? Keish.
I wish Lily was there with Nick.
What happened with that? They reconnected and nothing. We haven't seen them since.
Not a peep.
Just the one scene
Right.
they've had so far. I'm not giving up hope yet. The same thing happened with Summer and Chance.
Yeah,
true.
don't drag us out. It took us 5 months to get Chance and Summer together.
But when they finally broke, or when him and Sharon finally broke up, we saw one scene with him and Summer, and when Summer asked him out to dinner,
Mm-hmm.
then we didn't see him again for like almost a month.
Right?
Right. I don't know. That's
Yeah, that
crazy.
wasn't fair.
All right, what you got, Trish? What you flipping?
I wanted Abby to be in the intervention, and if not included, then to walk in on it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I forgot to mention earlier. I'm glad because I was wondering if they were going to do it, but I'm glad that they brought in Billy's DID story. Because I was like, are they going to bring that up? Because he went through the same thing.
He did. Yes, he did.
So I'm glad they brought that up. My flip the script would have been Ash taking the shoe off and popping Ashley and say, "Wake up!" I mean, yeah, she, like I said, she finally got to kick the side of that bed, but she could have been woke Ashley up if she had took a shoe or something.
You are so right, man. Throwing a shoe has worked for generations.
Right, something. All right, what y'all got for bold?
My flip would have been entertaining.
You're so funny.
That's really what I'm saying.
This was your filler week, huh, Bree?
This was a filler.
Mm.
There's nothing that I can think of that stuck out, but yeah, I wish it was entertaining this week.
What you
Sorry,
got?
guys.
What you got, Trish?
For bold, I honestly really wish that Deacon just would have told Ridge to just get out.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that was so rude. And then for Ridge to just get the last word and turn around and walk off like I've spoken the piece of all of this and counted to 3 and this is the way it is and I'm out.
Okay.
You know, I didn't like that.
What you got, Keish?
I wish that Steffi would have told Liam to get out for just not letting him in the house at all. And definitely did not want her talking about she has seen his growth. That line could have been scrapped.
Mm-hmm.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
No, ma'am. No growth there.
You're right, because even, just like y'all said earlier, even in that 45 seconds before he, didn't bash Finn, he bashed Finn.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Give me about 6 months of Liam leaving Steffi alone.
Mm-hmm.
Not trying to pursue her. Not showing up to her office with a stuffed animal and bashing her husband, trying to scare her out of being in her marriage because Finn can't keep her safe. Give me about 6 months to a year of him not doing any of that, and then I'll believe that he's changed.
Yeah.
Yep. Gotcha. I wish that Deacon was clear enough to take a picture of them toes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, because him trying to convince everybody and the proof is now gone.
Yeah.
If he had got a picture of them feet, they'd be like, well, wait a minute. And took that to Finn and be like, this person had 10 toes, But unfortunately, he did not. So.
The only one using phones is Liam.
Right. Exactly. Okay, what is your taking seats for Young and the Restless?
Nikki's gonna have to take a seat. I'm so annoyed. I'm so annoyed with how she is just allowing all of this to happen, and the way she treated Adam at that party, he didn't have to be there. He could have been with his child. And she couldn't even fester up a freaking smirk. Even Mona Lisa smiled. She could have smiled.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What you got, Keish?
Victoria can take a seat for thinking that she was going to go check Summer because Summer isn't accepting her daughter that she has only known for a few weeks, who previously tried to kill her family.
I agree with that.
I do too.
Like, girl, sit down somewhere. Everybody ain't got to accept your little daughter.
Mm-hmm.
And Bree, you said yours, right?
Yep.
Okay. So my take a seat would have been Jack. Jack is just, my thing is, you so worried about Nikki. You didn't tell Abby that her mama was going through all of this.
Yep. I was gonna say Jack. I agree 100%.
And then
Traci can take a seat for that too.
Yeah, she can take a seat for that too. Yes, she can. And then Jack also needs to take a seat for the fact that both his wife and his son is saying that his wife don't belong in that job and you still want to keep her there.
Yeah.
Stop it. Get some help. Anyway, I know that was 11.
True.
Okay, Michael Jordan.
Exactly. You know where I got that from, right? That little meme. Yeah, but it's just irritating. And like I said, to top it off, what I saw on Monday, pretty much he was going to leave Ashley in the lurch to go see Nikki. It's just stupid. Who's taking a seat on boat?
Liam.
Yes.
Even though he waffled up, he still needs to take a seat.
Listen, you got to put Liam in a seat at the table and give him a big old plate of waffles and syrup.
The back of the chair has his name on it. He's been in that seat for so long.
I know. What you got, Bree? Who's taking the seat on bowl?
To be honest, 10 toes. I got so tired of hearing about Sheila's 10 toes, or I saw 10 toes. The 10 toes can have a seat, please.
Mm-hmm. My take a seat is Ridge. He always want to get up in somebody's face. Man, look, go sit down. You didn't need to come over there. You didn't order bolognese or even meatballs. You came over there to antagonize this man who is clearly grieving. And because it's Sheila, you want to tell him he's on Delulu Island. Finn, too. It's like, Ridge, leave that man alone.
And did I hear him say that I like you, Deacon?
Yeah, right.
Did he say that?
Did he say as your friend?
Yeah.
As a friend? Did he say that?
He said something like that.
He said something like that. He perpetrating, because that, you know, this is the same man that tried to beat Deacon to a pulp in front of Brooke in that closet.
Funny.
Oh man. All right, everybody got their seats in?
Yeah.
Okay, and then our star of the week, when it's unanimous on The Young and the Restless, is ding 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 ding, Eileen Davison. Yay!
Yeah.
Yes, indeedy. Now, who would you give the star of the week over to on Bold? I mean, I gotta give it to Scott. I mean, come on. He is definitely playing pathetic. What'd you say?
Except for admitting that he's a waffler.
Yes.
I can go with that.
Yeah, Scott obviously has been listed to social media along with the producers and the fans, and they said, because even the way he said it, I've been referred to or been known to be a waffler. I'm like, yeah, you have.
Scott Clifton, though, has always been very aware of how crappy his character is. Like,
yeah,
how toxic he is. He's always admitted that.
Mm-hmm.
Because I love when an actor can admit when their character is a turd.
Mm-hmm.
I was getting ready to use another word, but I had to remember where I was.
Right.
You just have to remember where you're at, girl. And then who is our pickle of the week on Young and the Restless? I'm gonna give it to Jack. He get on my nerves.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with you on that one.
Okay with that.
Me too.
And what about on Bold?
Hope.
Really?
Hope was a bit of a pickle this week. It's been like 3 or 4 days. She's still at that funeral with her chest out, trying to flirt with this man.
You see that picture in the corner?
Yes. I mean, just have everything just open and out. Like, you have nothing better else to do.
Yep.
Mine was gonna be RJ for thinking that he had a slight bit of a chance of being named the lead designer for Hope for the Future.
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
That's her face.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. And Zende, you need to give it up, sir.
Yes.
Stop it. As I just said, stop it. Get some help.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he actually think just because they had a night together, that's supposed to change her mind, even though the circumstances was not ideal.
Right.
I mean, come on, Zende. What, you weren't even you to her.
I mean, he's trying to let her know, hey, there's a bit of a difference. You should see what it's about.
Oh
Wake
my!
up, girl. Wake up.
Wake up. Vicky Langer says that Hope's breasts need to take a seat.
Right.
I'm sorry, but I like that top that Hope.
I mean, it's cute, but the way she looking at, and I wish I had to put it in one of the lower photos, but that particular photo and how seductive she's looking at Finn, it's like, yeah, you can have
funeral.
And with open body language, he's open, she's open, everything is just open for display. And it was just not the right conversation to have.
Not appropriate.
There.
I mean, she was wide open.
Yes, and I'm like, you have a whole failing fashion line. Like, what are you?
What you doing? Right.
And think about what she used to wear, y'all.
Yeah,
she would have
I
been in a prairie dress before.
Yeah.
That is the power of Thomas Forster.
I know, right? That's that awakening.
You put some fashion into her system.
Mm-hmm.
Has worked wonders for Hope's life.
Yes.
I know, right? There's a lot of people in the comment section that are saying Sean Kanan should have got Star of the Week too.
Oh, Sean Keenan?
Yeah, he was pretty freaked out. He played that part really well.
Yeah, he did.
He's a very talented actor. I'm surprised. Has he ever been nominated for an Emmy?
I don't know.
It's well overdue for him. Either show, especially on YNR, the storylines that he had, he should have been at least nominated, but he's a very talented actor.
I agree.
Gotcha. Okay, well, we got our pickles in and our stars and flips and seats and everything else. So I think that's it. Unless y'all got something else, just stay tuned for the spoilers. How are you guys liking? We've been getting the Friday previews from Young and the Restless, but what about these Friday previews on Bold now? Y'all like it?
Love it.
Yeah, I'm glad they're doing that now. Hopefully they stick to it.
I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
I'm kind of glad that they did that, because it's how they used to, anticipate the audience. They used to pick better clips. That punch wasn't motivating.
Girl, listen, I said that punch was weak. It looked mechanical. It was like, I've seen Steffi punch Sheila, and I think one of you guys said in the group chat between that whole punch between Quinn and Brooke.
Quinn took her out.
Exactly. So it's like, y'all, come on. Maybe Joshua Hoffman was afraid to hit Delon too hard or something. I don't know. Because, I mean,
probably at least a foot away from him.
Josh's arms are huge.
Yeah.
He got some muscles up in there. He hit too hard. He might have would have knocked DeLon out.
That's true. I mean, but the hit that we saw was like a fly swat. I'm like, his mom has hit better than that.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, I'm liking that over the waiting around until Sunday when you maybe or maybe not get a promo.
Right.
So now if you get it 2 days early on Friday after the Friday episode, it's like, oh okay, at least we already know. And it's multiple clips. It's not just one piece of a promo.
Remember when on the website they used to give those extra scene clips online?
Yeah.
Additional footage.
I
wish they'd bring that back. That was always fun.
Girl.
Post some of those. I guess they're clips that they show in the international episodes that we don't get. But I see people post some of those online every once in a while, like on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram.
I wonder why they do that, because we would like to see them here in the US.
Right.
Like, especially the bloopers. They post the bloopers over there too.
Yeah.
So there were a couple of scenes of deleted scenes that I saw this week. I'll try to find them again and send them to you guys. But I think they were both scenes with Hope, and she was talking about Thomas, because in one of the scenes she says something like that they've talked and they're not upset with each other, like they understand where each other's coming from. They just both needed their own space for a while, but they're basically that they're not upset with each other. And I think she said she misses him, and she still loves him or something like that. And I'm like, I feel like that's something that they should have kept in.
Yeah. Well, I guess I would have enjoyed seeing that here in the States, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, I'll try to find them and send them to you guys.
That's cool. Drop them in the chat. All right, you guys, we are ending it here. Stay tuned for the spoilers for the upcoming week of the 15th through the 19th. And until then, we'll see you guys soon. Bye, guys.
Bye.